comes along into the sport that changes it forever.
There was no fear when they were in the race car, only exhilaration.
Once you've been out alive, nothing comes close.
They drove with pain, but it only made them focus more clearly on their goal.
They never felt more invincible than when they completed that perfect pit stop, that perfect pass, and that perfect win.
Every day they thank the good Lord for the family that supported them and for being able to live the American dream.
They never lost the desire to be the best, no matter what obstacles they had to overcome.
The more you hunger for something, the more that hunger grows and the more that fire burns.
I hope that when 1993 is over, that people at Winston, the people at NASCAR, and the competitors all look back and say, we were proud to have him represent us as our champion.
Alan, Davey, all that we have shared has a piece of you in every thought. These words tell the story of your life. You made every moment count. Your earthly chapter has now been written, but your spirit will never let it close. You guys, from all of us, Godspeed.
In his fourth season as the driver of Rick Hendrick's Tide Chevrolet, this Virginia native returns to the Waldorf stage tonight for the 5th straight time and the 13th of his Winston Cup career. Ricky Rudd got his season going with a 5th place at Atlanta, then a 7th at North Wilkesboro, and a 3rd on the road course at Sears Point, where he's always a threat. Then in a calculated fuel mileage thriller, Rudd and the Tide crew led a 1-2 Hendrick finish at Michigan in June. Rudd continued his climb back into the top 10 in points with top 5 fall finishes at Richmond and the short tracks of North Wilkesboro and Martinsville. And in the season finale at Atlanta, Rudd's 2nd place finish delivered to Chevrolet its 22nd manufacturer's title. Ending his tenure with Hendrick Racing, this driver tallied 14 top 10 finishes in 1993. Ladies and gentlemen, finishing 10th in the NASCAR Winston Cup standings, the driver of the Tide Chevrolet. From Chesapeake, Virginia, Ricky Rudd. This 1985 NASCAR Rookie of the Year has evolved into a mature veteran. In the driver's seat of Rick Hendrick's Kodiak Chevrolet, Missouri native Ken Schrader set the standard for speed in 1993 by setting 2 new track records and winning the Busch Pole Award with a tally of 6 inside front row starts. Schrader made a run toward the points lead during the summer stretch, climbing as high as 5th, during which he had 4 straight top 4 finishes, beginning at Sears Point and culminating with the runner-up spot at Pocono. Schrader then added another second-place finish while taming the monster mile at Dover. 14 times this season, Schrader piloted his Chevrolet to a top 10 finish. In 14 different races, the Kodiak machine led the field. And when the final checkered flag fell at Atlanta, Schrader had completed nearly 11,000 racing miles. For the 6th time in his career, please welcome to the stage the driver of the Kodiak Chevrolet, finishing 9th in the NASCAR Winston Cup standings from Fenton, Missouri, Ken Schrader. In the closest points race ever, last year's NASCAR Winston Cup runner-up Bill Elliott was looking for the momentum of his Junior Johnson Budweiser Ford powerhouse to carry over into 1993. Unexpectedly, Bill's season had to wait until Atlanta for its first top 10. But throughout the summer stretch, this former NASCAR Winston Cup champion showed his versatility by scoring top 10 finishes on the super speedways of Pocono and Michigan and the twisty turns of Watkins Glen. Then, Elliott got serious about climbing up in the points. After assuring a start in the '94 Busch Clash with a pole to Talladega, Bill began a move from 15th to 8th in just 7 races, including his year's best finish, a second under the lights at Richmond. Bill secured his 10th trip here tonight by ending his season with 3rd, 5th, and 4th place finishes at Rockingham, Phoenix, and Atlanta. Word is that Awesome Bill is back. Please welcome the 1988 NASCAR Winston Cup champion, 8-time NASCAR most popular driver, and this year's 8th place finisher in the NASCAR Winston Cup point standings, behind the wheel of Junior Johnson's Budweiser Ford, from Dawsonville, Georgia, Bill Elliott. In his second full season in the legendary Wood Brothers Citgo Ford, 52-year-old Morgan Shepherd proved once again in 1993 that age only adds savvy to a race driver's resume. Only 4 races into the season, Shepherd claimed victory in Atlanta for the 3rd time in his career. Then, from Charlotte to Michigan and down to Talladega, this quiet man prevailed in the summer heat and let his driving do the talking, as he posted 6 top 10 finishes in 8 races. Continuing this swift pace on the super speedways, Morgan claimed a runner-up spot at Michigan in August. Thanks to his early win in March, Morgan stayed near the front of the points race for the remainder of the season. And tonight, we welcome him back to the Waldorf Astoria stage for the 2nd time in his career, as one of the 10 best in NASCAR Winston Cup racing. From Conover, North Carolina, here is the 7th place finisher in the NASCAR Winston Cup point standings, driver of the Citgo Ford, Morgan Shepherd. This driver's 1993 story has 2 different chapters. But for many race fans, Ernie Irvan will be remembered as a man who made one of the toughest decisions of his young career, yet performed his role with confidence and the will to maintain a winning tradition. When the curtain rose on the 1993 season, Irvan quickly garnered 3rd and runner-up finishes at Rockingham and Atlanta. But that was just a rehearsal for his assault on the world's fastest superspeedway, Talladega. In one of the season's most exciting finishes, Irvan propelled the Kodak Film Chevrolet across the line first by just inches. 1 week later, Irvan displayed his road course expertise by posting a 2nd at Sears Point, and then returned to Talladega, only to miss a sweep by what would become the closest victory margin of the season, 5 1/1000ths of a second. The twist of fate that brought Ernie Irvan to the Robert Yates Haviland team was closely watched. In his Darlington debut, Irvan came home 5th. Only 3 races later at Martinsville, the black number 28 was on the pole. 500 laps later, it was in an emotional victory lane. A consecutive pole followed at North Wilkesboro, then triumph again at Charlotte. Irvan had found his place in this new, swift, and conquering Ford. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the driver of the Robert Yates Haviland Ford, the 6th place finisher in the NASCAR Winston Cup point standings, from Modesto, California, Ernie Irvan. In his first season as the solo on-track representative for one of stock car racing's most famous families, Kyle Petty continues to prove the popularity of NASCAR's new generation. Opening his 5th season with owner Felix Sabates, Kyle and his mellow yellow Pontiac came out of the box very fast, grabbing the pole at Daytona. Starting 2 races later at Richmond, Kyle racked up 5 top 5 finishes in 8 races, including a runner-up duel on the short track at North Wilkesboro. Domination was the theme when the Sabates team visited Pocono in June. Leading the most laps, Kyle pulled into victory lane for the first time this season. And when Kyle wins a race, he wants to capture every moment of it. Kyle stayed solidly in the points chase, moving up from 7th in the last 3 races of the season. One of 3 drivers attempting to crack the top 5 in points, Kyle came out on top with the best finish in Atlanta. For the 2nd consecutive year, please welcome the 5th place finisher in the NASCAR Winston Cup point standings, the pilot of the mellow yellow Pontiac from Randleman, North Carolina, Kyle Petty.
Come off of turn 4. You know who I'm pulling for. It's Dale Jarrett. Bring her to the inside, Dale. Don't let him get down there. He's going to make it. Dale Jarrett's going to win the Daytona 500. All right.
The moment can only happen once, but for Dale Jarrett, it will always be magic, winning his first Daytona 500. And this was just the beginning of a remarkable year for the Joe Gibbs Interstate Batteries team, which was only rolling into its 2nd season. In the first half of 1993, Dale and his Chevrolet ran hard, ran fast, and ran up front, finishing in the top 5 on the super speedways and the short tracks. By the time he left Michigan in June, Jarrett was back in 2nd place in the points and kept his team there with consistent finishes during the summer stretch. With the help and strategy that his owner is famous for, Jarrett kept on charging and added 4 more top 10 finishes in the last 7 races to earn what for him is a fitting end to his dream season. The new generation now has another charter member. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in his career, he walks to the podium as the 4th place finisher in the NASCAR Winston Cup point standings. Driver of the Daytona 500 winning Interstate Battery Chevrolet from Hickory, North Carolina, Dale Jarrett. In the 90s, there are certain elements that no NASCAR Winston Cup team can do without. You must have a mechanical wizard under the hood. You must have a confident and fearless driver. And you must have a fit crew. But most of all, you must have patience. For Mark Martin and the Jack Roush Valvoline Ford team, persistence tells the story of their 1993 season. Martin began the year with 5 top 10 finishes in the first 6 races, including the first of 5 season pole positions. Mark took the runner-up spot at Darlington and began to knock on the door of victory lane. The podium finishes continued to come. 2nd in NASCAR Winston Cup's debut at Loudon. 3rd in the sizzling heat at Talladega. Mark kept on knocking and finally got someone named August to answer. Beginning on the road course at Watkins Glen, Martin led a 1-2 Roush sweep. Their patience had paid off, but there was much more to come. The next week in Michigan, Roush made sure there was more than enough fuel to bring his driver home for win number 2. Win number 3, it was a hot August night at Bristol. Patiently, Mark waited for his turn to run up front and then never looked back. Martin served up win number 4 and a very special place in history as a Mountain Dew Southern 500 champion. Firmly installed in the top 5 in points, Martin was not done yet. Victory number 5 was his at Phoenix, and his season ends tonight with the 1990 NASCAR Winston Cup runner-up making his 5th consecutive appearance here in New York. Ladies and gentlemen, the 3rd place finisher in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, driving the Valvoline Ford from Batesville, Arkansas, Mark Martin.
Hold on, everybody, for one wild ride.
Hold on for one incredible ride through the 1993 season with Rusty Wallace and the Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac crew. Determined to be a contender in the title chase, this former NASCAR Winston Cup champion brought to Daytona the horsepower and the know-how to make wins happen. But the first leg of his journey was an unexpected one. While millions of fans witnessed the true grit that lies within this race driver, he climbed from his mount, ready to ride again. As quickly as the coaster can go down, it comes up again. Just 2 weeks later, Rusty Wallace rode into victory lane at Rockingham. By the time the series merged with the April short track season, Rusty again had come to the top of the hill at Bristol, North Wilkesboro, and Martinsville. 3 races, a hat trick of wins, and with his spring sweep, a seat atop the NASCAR Winston Cup standings. But this team's title chase was about to take on more twists and turns. At the end of a Talladega shootout, it happened in an instant.
I went down and talked to Rusty. I got his gloves. He took his gloves off. He was talking to me while they were getting him out of the car. And I just hope he ain't hurt seriously or nothing. And I hate it for the guys that work on his team.
Rusty didn't hesitate to get back on the ride, but the journey up from the valley was a slow one. After 4 consecutive early exits, Wallace saw his points lead plummet to 5th, but the focus was beginning to sharpen. Thousands of track miles still lay ahead. The fastest pit crew in NASCAR racing was ready. The KG veteran set his strategy, and when Rusty the Rocket puts on his game face, strap in for an e-ticket ride. Wallace immediately put his name in the record books when he crossed the stripe first in NASCAR's debut at Loudon. At a track that many consider the wildest coaster ride of them all, Rusty led 376 laps and finished second at Bristol. Victory came again and again at Richmond and Dover. And when he left North Wilkesboro, he closed out the 8-race short track season with 5 wins in 3 seconds. Are we having fun yet? Do you get the picture? The race for the Winston Cup was set on full blast. With Rusty's 9th win at Rockingham, Earnhardt was served with a 72-point notice to meet in the high desert. However, Rusty's 19th place finish moved the finale to Atlanta. Many knew the final ride would be a long shot. In less than 500 miles, the championship was over, but victory lane was still open. For the 10th time, Rusty Wallace took the checkered flag, and the ride was over. But, oh, what a ride it was.
Man, I don't know about this, but never again, I don't think. Well, maybe one more time, as long as it's not in a race car.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 1989 NASCAR Winston Cup champion and finishing second this year. Please welcome the driver of the Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac from Fenton, Missouri, Rusty Wallace. This man, this machine, this dynasty, they are resistant, persistent, and consistent. This is the master, the star of the show, the conqueror. Welcome to 1993, Earnhardt style. As he watched another man hitch his star to that first Daytona 500 victory, Dale Earnhardt was only inches behind, but already looking miles ahead into his 30-race future. It's known that there are records waiting to be broken, inked with the name of Earnhardt on top. And in March, he came one step closer to taming Darlington with his 8th career victory at NASCAR's oldest venue. In the win column, only a silver fox remains ahead of him. The future was looking brighter. When you're being stalked by the intimidator, you don't look back. He'll outdrive you, outsmart you, and plain outlast you. Even the monster mile at Dover couldn't curb the discipline and the power of Dale Earnhardt. He had taken his February vision and created 3 wins and 3 second-place finishes in the first half of the season. He had never looked at the points range from any further back than second. Now the series leader, he focused on the future becoming reality. Earnhardt returned to Daytona and this time led the fireworks. Victory number 4 and a chance to bask in the glory, but not for long. A NASCAR Winston Cup championship was visible on the horizon, and the Brain Trust knew what had to be done. Be resistant, be persistent, and in every race, be consistent. July's heat became Earnhardt's ally as he triumphed at Pocono and then fought off the closest of competitors at Talladega. The message was clear. The championship was coming closer. But then there surfaced a potent race driver who was ready to challenge this road warrior. He, too, could claim victories and the quest for a seat on the throne. He pushed Dale Earnhardt to the limits of competition, but could not shake him from view. At Bristol, Darlington, North Wilkesboro, and Rockingham, these men raced and reflected a mirror image. And then, time ran out. His challenger raced him to the very final lap of 1993, and together they paid homage to those who have claimed victory among them. The moment will forever be etched with the spirit of fraternity. The record books are now opening. The claims of legend and dynasty are once again being bestowed on this multi-decorated athlete. And now, the moment we've been waiting for. Please welcome the Kannapolis, North Carolina native and driver of the Richard Childress Good Wrench Chevrolet, the 1993 and now 6-time NASCAR Winston Cup champion, ladies and gentlemen, Dale Earnhardt.
Machine, we're chasing a Sunday money. Easy come, just watch him go. A Sunday money. He does a bad boy boogie and on the road. Sitting in the bleachers, there's a 250,000 fans, living, breathing, racing, come to see the man. The only thing for certain when they're flagging with the green, everybody's watching for the black number 3. A cool intimidating, that's what people say, but there's something else coming when it comes to racing day. He's got the Sunday money. Easy come, just watch him go. Sunday money. He does the bad boy boogie and on the road. They'll have to beat him every time around. Watch him on the outside, he's coming up fast. While they're looking in the mirror, he's passing in the grass. He'll never be a stranger to the pedal on the right. Chances are you'll see him up in victory lane tonight with the Sunday money. Easy come, just watch him go. Sunday money. He does the bad boy boogie and he's on the road. Well, you're never gonna see him in the middle of the week. Won't be chasing nightlife, playing in the street. He's tracking down a buck or a largemouth bass, and like a shaking rookie driver, better watch your. But the weekend rolls around and his Cup champion. Sunday morning, easy come, just watch him go. Sunday morning, he does a bad boy boogie and he's on the road. Sunday morning, easy come, just watch him go. Sunday morning, he does a bad boy boogie and he's on the road. The bad boy boogie just good as gold. Wow. Is that Lightning or number 3? That blew my head off.
There's a hero. If you look inside your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer if you reach into your soul, and the soul